Pablo Loren's No is a politically charged tale of advertisers who overthrew a dictatorship. For the first time, Loren has a star lead in Gael Garcia Bernal, but visually the film remains his most esoteric art house offering yet. Cine Outsider sat down with Loren to discuss politically conscious filmmaking.
Nosotros creemos que el país está preparado para una comunicación de esta naturaleza.
¿Te ofrecieron la campaña, no?
Sí.
Con tus antecedentes familiares no debería haberte contratado nunca.
La oportunidad que tenemos de derrocar a la dictadura.
Vamos a sacar a Pinochet. ¿Un arcoíris?
Porque diga lo que diga.
Chile, la alegría ya viene.
Porque siento que es la hora.
Mi alegría, René, es distinta a la tuya.
Ah, ¿sí? ¿Cuál es la mía?
Esto dejó de ser una campañita como empezó a ser materia de Estado. Déjelo que baile nomás.
Quédate acá.
Noche no ven, se pone todo.
Y no salga solo.
Cara raja.
Con esto no vamos a ser famosos.
I want to open our discussion of the film with a quote. I believe it was, if you want to scare people, you scare them with their past.
Oh yeah, but that's true. But I don't think it's the intention. Oh, it's in the film, but I didn't say it. It's what a character said. I understand. Yeah. Yeah, but that's what the theory of the guys from the Yes campaign had. And I think what we have here is it's a reflection about the past and how we just we want to move on, trying to somehow to avoid and to forget whatever happened in your own society and country, and that is just not possible because every time you try to avoid it, we just keep coming, we keep coming back and I think that the reflection here is that you don't have to go to the past just to be scared. You have to go to the past in order to avoid to commit the same mistakes. That's what I would say. But that's the evil guy in the film. So I was scared that I said that. You never know. Sometimes they quote you and
because your other films are quite unnerving. In fact, this is the only one of the three that I found to be, there's a lot of humour in this film, which I don't think we get in your previous two. And I find all of them actually quite scary in a way.
Yeah, I understand, but I don't think, because the person who said that wanted to avoid a change. They want to, because that guy is the character who is behind Pinochet. So they want to stay, they want to have Pinochet in power for another 8 years. So what he says is, if you don't want to change, just tell them how bad it could be, and that was the past. So if you vote for the no, the worst things from the past will come up again. And I think that's pretty stupid and fascist, and I think we just if my previous movies were scaring, that's because they were in a very scary, sort of situation, and they were showing something that I think is pretty scary.
And this film ends a loose trilogy of political films about the dictatorship. Was this planned?
No, not really. No, it started with Tony Manero, and then when we were editing the movie, we got to this to the autopsy report of Salvador Allende, and it was unbelievable, and we decided to make a movie out of that autopsy report. And then while we were doing it, some Chilean writer called Antonio Scalmeta had this play called Referendum, which is what we based this movie on. So it's something that it really slowly started, but I never planned it. I never planned it as a trilogy. But they did it, and I'm done with it. And I don't think I'll be back in the same subject, at least for a while.
And you shot this film on 30-year-old UMAC cameras that you imported from the US. Can you talk about the decision for that shooting style?
Sure. Sometimes I don't enjoy very much when I see movies that they have archival footage and you can easily tell that it's different from what the actual production, you know. So it looks so different. So you have the archival footage and then you cut to this, you know, to this handsome actor, very well, you know, shot with these super technology cameras, and it looks so different. So it cuts the illusion basically. And we were going to use a lot of footage, and we actually did. I think 1/3 of the movie, nearly 1/3 of the movie, it's footage, you know, archival footage. So I didn't want to be cutting from an HD or film sort of image source to this sort of old material. So we found these cameras and we did this sort of technological workflow that was pretty hard because, you know, all these cameras are obsolete. So the entire post-production system too. So, and we did some tests, and it was really interesting what happened with, you know, with archival footage, because you can actually not notice. The problem was, are we going to be able to sell this movie? Is people going to be scary because it looks so different? The format is 4/3, you know, so it's square, and now everything is 16:9, it's flat, and so it was a whole sort of situation for us. It wasn't an easy decision, and we spoke with the people that we work with and the people that was financing the movie, and finally we got the yes from most of them, or from all of them, and we shot it. And I think it happens. It happens that people don't know which is the archival footage and which is what we shot. So I mean, you can tell, of course, that because there are actors in there, and you can, of course, tell. But once you're in the game, and the footage, the archival footage comes to the screen, the illusion stays. You know, you stay there. I think the audience will stay there because it would just look the same, and I think that's very interesting, where the fiction becomes a documentary, and the documentary becomes a fiction.
And having Gael Garcia Bernal in the lead, was this important to get those finances to say yes, given your decision to shoot it in this way?
Well, I think having Gael Garcia in this movie was important to make it a good movie. I think, of course, Gael is someone that it could, you know, trigger a lot of things. It could, you know, bring more attention, and probably more investments and whatever. But what is really interesting about Gael, that he's a really, really great actor. So, and he's mysterious, and he has a very powerful energy. So that's why he's in the movie, and it's been a pleasure to work with him. And he's a very sort of politician guy too. You know, has a lot of ideas. He's interested in politics. So we were discussing while we were shooting all the possibilities, all the possible levels and meanings of this movie with him. So I would say that before whatever commercial value Gael has, the main issue here is how could he actually be our main character? How could he actually keep the main elements that we wanted? And I think we achieved it thanks to his performance.
And why do you think that the No campaign was able to pull off what it did? Because they themselves thought there's no hope for us, it's all rigged. What do you want people to take away from this film and what they achieved?
Well, I think they achieved that when you get together with people and you really, really, really want to change something, you can actually do it. That's why it's so unique, and because when you are under a very violent dictatorship like this one, and then you have, for the very first time, the option to tell people what is actually going on, because they control the media, all the censorship was very strong, and instead of going out and saying, hey, look at this guy, how bad he is, look what he done, they said, look, wait, let's think different. Let's think that something positive is coming. This guy is gonna go out. We have to pull him out, just voting. The joy, the happiness coming. So they create this sort of crossover from advertising with political communications. And they create this prestige, this very regional and touching and emotional at the same time. Now it has the same elements, but it's also funny because it's, perspective of time change things. But so they create this sort of snowball, and it was growing until people decided, without fear, without any kind of fear, I'd say it again, to vote and just to drop this dictator who never died, was never judged. You had him here, you almost got it, but he was never judged, and he was just, he died free and millionaire. But at least we pulled him out for power throughout a democratic process.